I appreciate the adjustment. I'm Ryan. I'm Chris's brother and best man for the day.
I'm Ryan.
A lot of people have been coming up to me and saying, "You look nervous. You look nervous. Are you ready for the speech?" And the truth is, I've been just waiting and monitoring my sobriety and trying to balance what I need to be, levels that I need to be. So, Chris and Ashlee planning a wedding is a seriously stressful task. Add in a global pandemic and you multiply that by at least 100. And Chris, I know you love complex logistics and problem solving. You might have actually enjoyed the initial challenge. But what you guys put together is an amazing celebration. I'll give you a second to look around the room and soak it in. A wedding is one of those rare times where you have all of your family and friends in one room here to celebrate you and your love. So, I wish I could say that Chris and I have always been best friends. But through a series of traumatizing events and concussions, my childhood is a little hazy. While planning this speech, I asked my mom and my grandma for some stories about Chris and I growing up that I could tell. Both of their stories were about me getting thrown through a wall. Some of you heard it yesterday. So 2 separate occasions, 2 different walls. First wall, shame on you. Second wall, shame on me. At that point, I should have learned how to defend myself better. I love you, Chris. Thank you for always teaching me life lessons. Now, growing up, it was clear that Chris got a majority of the book smarts. I got a little bit of those and some street smarts, but he was always so intelligent and so smart. But in high school, he was more focused on the complex existential questions, like, should I layer 2 Abercrombie and Fitch t-shirts? And while I always want the best for Chris, selfishly, I was a little happy that he waited till later in his life to apply himself. Because that late start led to Chris and I going to college together at Salisbury University with many of the heartthrobs you see in this movie. I always remember driving to Salisbury one time, and we got pulled over. Chris and I were driving together in my gold Buick Skylark, and the cop came up to the window. I rolled it down, and he asked the classic question, "Where are you going in such a hurry?" I was probably going 55 to 45. I followed the rules. But we rolled down the window, and he was absolutely shook, taken back. The cop looked at Chris and I, and he goes, "Wait a minute. Are you brothers?" We looked at him, we're like, "Yeah, of course." And he was like, "Wow. And you go to college together?" And we're like, "Yeah." "And you live together?" "Yeah, we live together." "Wow. Your mom must be so happy." And when he was walking away, he said under his breath, and I'll never forget this, "Wow, brothers, man, that's awesome." I think sometimes it's hard to appreciate the opportunities you have in the moment. But I can easily say that getting to go to school with Chris is one of the experiences that I'm most thankful for in my entire life. I could have done without the unpaid parking tickets when he drove my car, one of which was literally they wouldn't let me graduate until I paid it. You know that. And all of the times that Chris would snooze his alarm until leaving for the day, locking his room and leaving it on. But we really were so fortunate to share in so many memories and experiences during a time when a lot of siblings are doing the opposite. Living with Chris allowed us to sort of let our guards down and be ourselves. I got to know Chris better, not just as my brother, but as my best friend. An exceptional bond that takes 1 part blood, 3 parts monkey barrel, and a whole lot of inside jokes. And Chris, we may have traded our monkey barrel for Whistle Pig, but to this day, you are still, outside of my wife, you are still the person I go to when I need advice or times are tough. As a younger brother, I've always looked up to Chris, sometimes blindly, but the more I got to know him, the more I started to pay attention. And the more I appreciated how lucky I am to have Chris in my life. You are a strong, smart, resilient, relentlessly positive big brother, and I could not be happier that you found the one in Ashlee. Woo! Now, Ashlee. I love that Chris just gives me a laugh no matter what I say. It's really keeping me really positive. I'm absolutely positive that you and Chris are beyond perfect to each other. In the CrossFit world, you check the most important boxes. You both do CrossFit. You both share love for travel, adventure, fitness, Lilith, and whiskey. But I do have to admit, I couldn't be sure at first. You gave me a taste of my own medicine. The old quiet until I warm up approach that I'm so well known for. You and I were in a world-class game of shy chicken. I don't know who won, I think you probably won. But I've learned now that you're not actually shy. The first time I witnessed full send Ash was in Mexico. During a game of Heads Up, I'm sure everyone here has played it for the most part. This was a family vacation, and the deck that we were playing was a family-friendly deck. And Ashlee screamed out 2 phenomenal hints, but that were closer to the X-rated scale. And if you've ever played Heads Up, the type of confidence she exerted when she said these hints was that you only give when you're 100% positive that person is going to know the answer. I'm not sure if my mom got the answer, but I'll never forget that memory. I laughed so hard. But it's been wonderful getting to know you over the years. You're everything that Chris was looking for, and you're everything that I hoped that my brother would find. Everyone here can see that you're absolutely beautiful, but it's who you are that takes center stage. Your quietness is actually a quiet confidence. Your drive is unmatched. So successful with going back to school to get your MBA while working full time. You're fearless, you're unafraid to challenge anything or anyone. Not that I would ever challenge you, because I'm not 100% sure what you're doing. I'm pretty sure you could steal my identity and hack all my bank accounts back. So outside of all the wonderful things that I admire and appreciate about you, what I appreciate the most is what you bring out in Chris. I'll never forget, I was at a party with that, I think it was at your house, and I was looking for Chris, and I saw him in the corner or some area talking to you. And the level of just, sorry, let me backtrack. He was absolutely captivated, focused, no one else was around, and it was a version of Chris that I rarely see. And honestly, if you've ever gone out with Chris, you can't even control this. He's chatting Kathy 101. But when Ashlee's around, it doesn't matter who else is there. She's, in many times, the only person in the room. And I think that's a beautiful thing. I believe that true love is transformational. Transformative love builds you up. It makes you better without changing. And I've watched Chris extremely closely for 30 plus years, mostly in case I needed to snitch on him. But I'm an expert in this matter. And since you met Chris, and since you and Chris started dating, he is more confident, more caring, and visibly happier than I've ever seen him in my entire life. But here's how I truly know that you bring out the best in Chris. At his bachelor party in Nashville, at the end of the night, after a long day on Broadway, Chris looked at me and said, "We should hug more." That would make, if we hugged once, we would be 100% more than we were. And maybe he was feeling extra emotional because our friend Pensick just got on stage at Tootsie's and absolutely lit it up. But I think that it's because you taught Chris how important and powerful love is. 3 years ago at my wedding, Chris spoke about the importance of never settling. And it's so clear to me that Ash was absolutely worth the wait. I couldn't pick a better fit for my brother. And I know you two are going to continue to grow and build an amazing life together. So with that, a toast. Miller. To appreciating the ones that make you better, and to Chris and Ashlee, who are setting the example for everyone in this room. Cheers.
Keep it going for Brian, Sammy, and Katie, everybody. Give it up.